Please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share and support the platform.
Hey you guys, I'm like low-key devastated that I have to make this video because Legend loves Joe Budden's podcast, and unfortunately someone sent me some messages, shout out to the subby, and told me that not only Joe Budden retweeted some messages that his colorist friends have made, but also a member on his show named Maul has also made some very anti-black women and especially dark-skinned black women colorist hateful tweets. So I want to share with you all what Joe Budden retweeted as well as what Maul's No Neck Behind had to say, so stay tuned for the video.
If you're having some skincare issues, an uneven skin tone, and acne, X Moisture's organic skincare cream will be a great solution for you. It is effective. If you're interested in purchasing, please go to xmoisture.com. You guys have actually been emailing me about how much you are raving over CarMarshal because you like the simplicity of the site as well as their customer service. They have over 100,000 cars in their inventory for you to select from, so definitely go down to carmarshal.com, tell them Paris Milan sent you. You guys always ask me, how do you keep your skin so clear? And definitely one of my secrets is Ashkicken's African Black Soap, and they have other skincare products that you can use. So go down to ashkicken.com. If you use Paris Milan at checkout, you will receive 15% off. Again, go to ashkicken.com. Also, make sure you go and pick up your melanated gear, your cinch bags, your hoodies. Go support Black currency unmasked.
So I'm pretty sure a lot of you know that Joe Budden actually used to rap. I believe he retired last year, but before he did that, he was kind of dipping his feet into doing commentaries, and he helped to create the show Everyday Struggle, which was shown on Complex, and he co-hosted alongside DJ Academics as well as Nadeska. This was like in earlier of 2017, and later that year in December of 2017 he actually decided to leave the show. He went on to do his own podcast named the Joe Budden Podcast. He also does another show on the Revolt Network named State of the Culture, and so a lot of people receive his podcast very well. They enjoy his commentary, they like how he analyzes certain lyricists and entertainers in general. However, somebody, like I said, sent me some messages that have kind of made me side-eye Buttons a little bit because of who he is associated with and also what he has retweeted himself. So on the podcast that he has, there are two other co-hosts. One of their names is Rory and the other's name is Maul. Maul is the younger brother of Kareem Biggs Burke, who actually co-founded Rockefeller, and he is really good friends with Jay-Z. Some people kind of rock with Maul, but Maul has kind of showed himself to be a massive bootlicking coon colorist who has said some very vile things about black women, as well as another friend of Joe Budden's who goes by the name Ice. So let me show you the comments that Joe Budden retweeted himself first, and also things that he's quoted that his colorist friends have said, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you what Mal had to say as well as his friend Ice. To be clear, I do not have a Twitter, so I'm assuming that this is what Joe Budden retweeted. You guys who are proficient with Twitter, please tell me if this is what Joe Budden retweeted or if this is what he actually commented. So the person, his name is at the Big Worm. He says, shout out to all the angry black women out there and the poor guy that has to put up with your A. And then it says Joe Budden said LOL. I was telling you guys about his colorist friend named Ice, and here's what Joe Budden quoted his friend saying. He said, top 10 reasons black girls don't get to spend the night. I think Joe Budden, Ice, and Maul are all friends. Now that I'm saying that, he retweeted what Maul said. So Maul said, if they dark skin, I'm throwing a toaster in there. He quoted something that says, dark skinned women nipples look like leather buttons on a pea coat. Then he said, black women take better care of their hair than they do their kids. Salute. Somebody retweeted something Maul said again. He says, black chicks put their daughter hair in a tight ponytail until their eyes get chinky, then tell people her father is mixed. Hashtag salute. Black women use Google as a filter of who they'll give the box to more than any other race of women. Somebody retweeted what Maul said, and he said here, only people eating breakfast from Taco Bell are convicted felons and dark-skinned bees. Then he says, Spanish women uptown ish on black men every day, but guess where I'll be this weekend? On Broadway and Dickman shooting 47% from the fields. How come black women be so angry about nothing? And he saluted someone that said, when you try and throw a black chick in the pool, real talk, white women and Spanish women are surpassing black women on the sex charts. Yeah, Lord Jesus, I gotta read all this bullcrap. So then he says, what is a black bottle girl? Spanish girls are team players. If they come to your crib and see that ish is a mess, they'll clean it up. Black chicks will judge you. Ask a black girl where you want me to blank. She said in the blank. A Spanish chick will say on the mirror so I can lick it. See, this is a demonic Negro that we're effing with right now. So Joe Budden actually made a question about black women, a sexually charged question. He said, do black girls still act like they've been shot when blank gets on them? And then Maul said, black girls down by 12 2012 in the first quarter, I ain't gonna front, I don't want to F no black girls. Hashtag followed by who wants to F a black girl in 2012. And so Maul was quoted as saying, dark-skinned women are women who still didn't go through evolution as of yet. Dark-skinned women should not be allowed to wear blonde hair. They look like half-eaten Snickers bars. Salute. And as you can see, he has an audience member here. She looks mixed or something, and she's like, ha ha ha, so mean. And he smiles, and you see they love doing this because they know these non-black women eat it up when they disrespect and try to destroy black women, especially darker skinned black women. So he says, Spanish girls don't get comfy with that #1 spot. White girls are threatening your position, and Asians are coming on strong. Then he says, you're dark skinned but you're wearing eyeshadow. Hashtag por qué. Wow. So now we're gonna get into what Ice said in his tweets. Okay, mind you, these are all Joe Budden's friends, and he was quoting some of the things that they were saying. Ice said, hashtag dark skinned chicks were God's first mistake. If I saw 2 hashtag dark skinned chicks drowning in a pool, I'd rush to pour more water in it. And F y'all call me racist for, I don't hate black people, I just hate dark skinned chicks. Somebody said to him, you're effing pathetic if you going in on this. He said, you must be one of them hashtag dark skinned chicks. Somebody said, what's wrong with dark skinned chicks? He said, Ma, you really want me to answer this? Emmett Till ain't flirt with that white woman for you N-words to be coming out wifing up hashtag dark skinned chicks. I'm sure some of you guys have been completely disturbed by these tweets. I am so disgusted because of the vile nature of these tweets. They're very hateful, and some of them were even pretty morbid. I mean, I didn't find any of it funny. They were extremely grounded in complete hatred towards black women, and more specifically darker skinned women. And I'm sure some of you are going to think to yourselves, well, what does Joe Budden have to do with this? Again, he retweeted some of these things. He was laughing at it. I couldn't see some of you guys letting black women off the hook if somebody retweeted something that says, I hate all black men, and a black woman retweets it and starts laughing, that you would not hold her with the same level of accountability. I kind of feel like this is not really a surprise after I did a little bit of my Googles regarding some of Maul's past perspective on certain topics. For example, with Sabrina Claudio, they had a little segment that they did on the show about racist tweets that she made in the past, where she had a troll account and she was trolling and saying hateful racist things about black women, and he completely gave it a pass. He didn't care. He tried to write it off as she was just young. He has been made aware of the racist tweets that she has made against black women, and he's trying to pass it off as her being young at the time, that she was only 14. And Joe Budden actually made a good point that when I was that age, I wasn't being racist or anything along those lines. Maul is really trying to pull out, well, I've said some racist things too. First of all, black people cannot be racist. I've said this so many times on my channel. We do not have the power to oppress anyone, deny anyone an access to a quality of life, to subjugate a group of people. Therefore, we cannot be racist just by saying something about someone. So I'm not really sure why black people get that in their brain that, oh, we can be racist, we can be discriminatory or prejudiced, but you cannot be racist as a black person because you are a subjugated group. This is a problem with some of our men, and I don't even consider him one of us, to be honest. Like, this is a putrid, bad body built, bent out of shape, childbearing, hip having, hideous looking Decepticon that feels as if he has some merit to be able to crap on dark skinned black women when he looks like possessed, crusty koala that's been ran over by a Mack truck. These are the type of black men that I don't care if they're castrated in the media. I really don't give a F. They put the needs of other races of women and lusting after those women before their own people. They prefer for them to lie down with spoiled milk and to have that woman racially degrade him than for him to wake the freak up and appreciate his own women. The thing that really gets me is that these men that hate black women so freaking much and can't stand a dark-skinned black bee, that is all they think about 24/7. That's literally what they base their whole ridicule campaign on, is degrading and trying to completely humiliate the image of black women so that other races of women can come along and be snickering. And it's crazy to me that some of these men are so invested in what black women do with their makeup. Dark-skinned women wearing eyeshadow, dark-skinned women wearing blonde hair, doing this, doing that, yet they're still being shot down in the street like animals. They're still making less than other races of men. They're still more likely to be incarcerated than other men. And when all of these things occur, who do they look to for protection, for salvation? More times than not, it's black women. It's like they view dark-skinned black women as these subhuman species that is just there as their effing punching bag, when that's where he came from. And I believe he also has a twin sister, because he said in this post that he came into the world with her. So I think he has a twin sister. She looks exactly like him. And it's like, how can you have your mother here, your twin sister, but you hate black women so freaking much? There's no need for you to have all this misogynoir going on where you are dedicating all of your time to trying to destroy black women. And I don't want to hear, oh, he was young. This man is currently 37 years old. And when he made these tweets, some of them were even from 2013. So he was clearly in his 30s. And some some of them he was in his late 20s. So age is not going to be an excuse here. He is going to be held fully accountable, and so is that degenerate bum Ice. I'm so fed up with seeing these common instances where it's like these darker skinned black men are making it a goal to ensure that for them to elevate other races of women, that they have to always stomp on the backs of dark skinned black women. And then when something happens, like they lose their careers or nobody wants them anymore or they fall off or whatever, then they want to come crawling back to us. No, F them. Let them continue to go out there and breathe themselves out. Let them go display to the world how much of an abomination they are. Let them self-destruct. You don't really see black women on the internet engaging in this. It's mainly darker skinned black men and some black men in general who go out of their way to make their presence known that they hate their own race of women. And you wonder why so many black women are divesting, and you also wonder why so many black women are just completely done with our race collectively. When have you ever heard of non-black men doing the same very thing? I want to actually give you some time to tell me of a time where you heard of a non-black man going on Twitter, going on Instagram, describing his hatred for his own race of women and uplifting black women over his own race of women. Please go ahead and comment that below. I'm going to give you some time to think about it. So you had more than enough time to think about it, and guess what? That was a rhetorical question because that bullish doesn't happen. You never hear of other races going out of their way to uplift a black woman over their own. You'll never see a situation where you see a boat where there's black women as the majority and you have them fraternizing with all these white men on the boat. You'll never hear songs where white men are uplifting black women over their own. You'll never see videos where white men or non-black men are degrading their women for the sake of black women's affection. You don't see that bullcrap happening because these men understand the massive importance of being the face of beauty in the media, because it not only makes their women have a higher self-esteem, but for the collective of their race, because they are the ones that are grooming these women to feel elite, to be viewed as having a higher societal status. They understand that when their women take a W, they get a W. But unfortunately, some of our men are too stupid to realize that when they feel like they're giving these women all of these props, all these accolades, showering them with so much affection, that they're doing the same thing for that woman's race of man. While he's thinking that he's kissing her feet, he might as well stay on his knees because he needs to start gagging for the race of man that actually uplifted that woman he is lusting after because he helped to contribute to why she's in that position to begin with. I really feel like black women that are watching this show should probably stop watching it to know that this is who he has on his show. I wouldn't contribute to any more viewership. I wouldn't click on it. I would fight every urge to tune into that show because I'm pretty sure Budden is probably going to place his friendship over black women at this point. So what we need to do is place the value of our dollar over tuning in to support a Joe Budden. And sadly enough, I think that this is a telltale sign of what Joe Budden's beliefs are. Birds of a feather flock together, right? So unfortunately, it's like we saw already where Sin Santana came out and people were kind of side-eyeing her, where she was mocking black women, and somebody actually sent me a photo of some statements that she made about Fantasia, saying Fantasia is ugly for real. So it's like your girlfriend is kind of making people side-eye you, and now your friends are coming out with this bullcrap. I don't know, Joe, like you making people out here lose faith in you. I know for sure I'm gonna tell Legend to not tune into the show, and I'm going to encourage other people to not do so because I refuse to uplift and support people that support the degradation of black women, and more specifically darker skinned black women, when we're not even bothering y'all. So anyways, you guys, let me know what you feel about the comments that were left. Do you feel like Joe Budden needs to be held responsible for what some of his friends have had to say, being that he has retweeted what they have had to say? Also, do you feel like Maul should be fired from the show? Please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share, and I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Bye!